What's the story of our generation?
Our generation has stories of hardship and adversities, stories of privilege and empowerment.
I grew up in a system that taught me to put up walls, that divided me from my peers.
I come from a place that lived the war, lost a lot of people, families, friends.
I grew up around a lot of violence and a lot of poverty. I also grew up around a lot of privilege and a lot of wealth. It was always really clear to me since I was a little kid that things were unevenly distributed, that both sides were unhappy.
Basically, we have grown up in crisis. Environmental, social, spiritual crisis.
When I think about where am I going to live when I grow up, you know, when I'm older, and I have to think about questions like, well, what parts of the world or the country are going to be underwater, you know, a few decades from now? I don't know of any other generation before us that's had to really think about that.
We are at a cusp. We are at an edge, at a boundary, at a cliff. The story of our generation is to either fall or fly.
We're coming of age at a time of unprecedented crisis in the world, but it's also a time of supreme opportunity.
So this is a generation that brings a lot of hope and a lot of energy for action.
We are able to transcend boxes. We're able to work across lines of difference. We're able to see the value in diversity.
We are civically engaged. You know, more of us are volunteering in our communities in service than any other generation in modern history.
We know what's happening around the world at any given time. We connect with people through technology, Facebook, Skype, with our brothers and sisters across the world with just a touch of a button.
We are capable and we are equipped to dream ourselves into the world that we want to live in.
I saw a vision of young people around the world rising up together, joining forces together to bring forth a thriving, just, sustainable world.
I think the vision and dream of Generation Waking Up came about in the hearts of many people, countless people across the planet.
So what really inspires me about Generation Waking Up and this approach is that it's completely open source. It's not about creating a new organization. It's really about being a bridge between organizations and movements and to really catalyze young people within those movements.
Part of what Generation Waking Up is doing is highlighting the movement of movements. So there's thousands, millions of movements around the world of people who are sensing that there's something wrong and are now starting to build the movements together.
Generation Waking Up is a massive network, like the network that all these young people who are involved in creating a thriving, just, sustainable world can come back to and draw strength upon and build upon each other's success.
Generation Waking Up is a global campaign to ignite a generation of young people to bring forth a thriving, just, sustainable world. We want to expose every young person on the planet to this larger context, to this larger story, and the Wake Up experience is how we make that happen. We use music and media and interactive group processes. We create a really hyped, alive space for young people to step into, to ask the questions of who are we? Who are we as a generation? Where are we? What has to change in this world of so many challenges? And then what do we do now? Now that we're awake, how do we take action? How do we bring about this change that we recognize needs to happen?
And that's what the Wake Up experience is all about. Bringing you in touch with now, with us, with the possibility, and using all of that as fuel for inspired action.
It's not just a wake up. It's a reminder for myself, for my heart. There's still good in people, this earth.
The Wake Up experience, this particular program that is so easy to facilitate and still so powerful and can be shared virally and is being given away for free. The more people who have access to this lens of what's unfolding in the world and to the possibility of our collaboration together as young people, the greater the likelihood that we will indeed wake up our planet at large and build a new world together.
If we have people all around the world in all these different facets of living, all dreaming together, then that's how the movement gets spun. And that's how the movement lives and thrives.
We are writing a different story than the one we've been led to believe is inevitable.